Good evening from Joliet, Illinois, and the Sullivan Center on the campus of the University of St. Francis, the home of the Fighting Saints. It's a CCAC showdown today as the Saints host the Eagles of Judson University. Welcome to the broadcast. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for today's game as St. Francis looks to remain perfect on the season. They are technically 8-0. They've played 7 games this year, won a forfeit over Trinity Christian on Saturday, November 22nd. Since that game wasn't actually played, this is the first conference action for the Fighting Saints in nearly 2 full weeks, November 19th, when they defeated Viterbo right here at the Sullivan Center, was the last time they were in action in an official game. They had the forfeit that Saturday, and then a few days after that, a loss against University of Illinois Springfield, which is a Division II squad. That game officially was an exhibition, so they have gotten some work in, but this is their first official matchup in a while. Judson comes in with a record of 3-4. Both teams are ready to go. The opening tip is won by the Eagles. Jessica Meyer, the 6'4 senior center, wins the tip for Judson, wearing black and going from left to right in the first half of today's game, and the opening possession leads to a foul. Bridget Grady hacked on her way to the hoop, and Grady goes to the free throw line for 2 shots. So the Eagles get a chance to strike first, and I get a chance to read off the starting lineup for you once again. The guards for the Eagles are Maddie Carlson, Jada Centeno, and Alyssa Potter. Front court features Bridget Grady, who scores the game's first point, and Jessica Meyer. That's the lineup for the third-year head coach Matt Richter. Grady's second foul shot is good. Fighting Saints have guards Takara Harrison, Lorelei Thormeyer, and Leilani Harris. The forwards are Simone Harrell and Mariah Paytas. Thormeyer handles the basketball for the team in white, the home team today, going from right to left to get today's game started. St. Francis, the number 1 team in the CCAC so far this year. Harris drives and kicks. Simone Harrell, a 3 from the wing, drains it. Simone Harrell has the first points of the game for St. Francis, and they take their first lead. 6th made three-pointer this season for the sophomore Simone Harrell from Schaumburg, Illinois. Jada Centeno walks it off to the right side. Back to her left, finds Alyssa Potter. Potter drives with the left hand, loses the ball. It's on the floor. Paytas tries to save it. It's out of bounds, and last touched by the team in black. So the Fighting Saints come up with a stop, and they take the ball back 1 minute into the action, ahead by 1. A light full court press put on by Judson. Takara Harrison over to Harrell, right back to Harrison. Harrell fakes the pass right, drives in that direction, gives it up to the point guard, Thormeyer. Now it's Harrison on the drive, backing her way in the paint. Turnaround jumper is good from about 6 feet out. Beautiful shot from Takara Harrison, the Fighting Saints' leading scorer this year, averaging 15 points per game. She's been at right at 15 points per game her entire career at St. Francis. A drive from Maddie Carlson. She's stuffed at the rim. It'll stay with the Eagles, but Mariah Paytas comes up with the block, the 6'2 sophomore from Minnesota. 15 on the shot clock for Judson. Inbounded by Bridget Grady. Grady has the only 2 points so far for Judson. She sends it in to Jessica Meyer. Now it's Centeno picking up her dribble. Gives it to the cutter at the rim. No good from Meyer. And the rebound goes to Simone Harrell. Here's Lorelei Thormeyer on the move. Thormeyer into the corner for Leilani Harris. Three-pointer is good. Leilani Harris just missed stepping out of bounds. It was very nearly a turnover. And instead, she knocks down a triple. Her first 3 points today. 2 threes made already by the Fighting Saints. We're only 2 minutes into the game. 8-0 run for St. Francis, and trying to make it more as Harris comes up with a steal. 2-on-2. Harris over to Thormeyer. Thormeyer steps back and slows it down as her cross-court pass is picked off by Jada Centeno. Centeno across half court for Judson. To the left, in the corner it's Grady. Down low Meyer, big mismatch against Harrison, misses, gets her own rebound, and draws the foul. Judson took advantage of the big size disparity inside. Jessica Meyer gets herself to the free throw line. Meyer has made just 2 of her 7 foul shots so far this year. First free throw attempt misses. First substitution of the game for John McGinty's Fighting Saints is Corinne Fromm. Takara Harrison grabs a seat with 7:32 to play in the first quarter. And after making the second free throw, Jessica Meyer checks out and Easton Kimball comes in. Easton Kimball missed all of last season with an injury. She's been the Eagles' best rebounder since returning this year for her senior season. Mariah Paytas on the cut, has the ball stripped by Kimball and out of bounds. 16 to shoot. Saints basketball on the baseline. Thormeyer is the inbounder. Trying to get to Leilani Harris, who's doubled up. Finally, she does find Harris in the corner. Down low, Mariah Paytas turns to face the basket, working one-on-one against Kimball. Up with the right hand, banks it in. Mariah Paytas has not been used too much for her offense this year. That's only her 21st field goal attempt in 8 games played. She knocks it in, matching her season average with 2 points. In the lineup more for her defense, but made a nice post move there on Kimball. Maddie Carlson on the outside, fires the 3 way off, and Paytas grabs the rebound, immediately throwing it away. Intercepted by Alyssa Potter. Potter loses it out of bounds. It was knocked out by the Saints. Judson basketball, 6:43 to play in the first quarter, 17 on the shot clock. And John McGinty goes back to his bench. Janae Singer checks in. Drive from Centeno, bounce down low. Grady is blocked by Singer. Second blocked shot of the game for St. Francis. Singer makes an immediate impact just seconds after entering. Still Judson ball, 11 to shoot. Leilani Harris leaves. Harrison is back in. Ball is bounced into Centeno. Centeno to Kimball in the post, working against Singer. Backing down, Singer has another block. On the floor for only 20 seconds, she's already got 2 block shots. Here come the Fighting Saints. Corinne Fromm, corner 3, got it to go. 3 3-pointers in the game for the Fighting Saints. They've come from 3 different players. And they've got a big lead, 13-3 in the first quarter. St. Francis off and running today. They have held Judson without a field goal through the first 3 minutes and 41 seconds of the game as the Eagles use up their first time out today. After Judson scored 2 on their opening possession, Saints have outscored them 13-1, and what's really impressive for St. Francis so far today. Those 13 points have come from 5 different players. Nobody has scored more than once, but they are 5 for 5 from the field. Takara Harrison, Simone Harrell, Leilani Harris, Mariah Paytas, and Corinne Fromm have each hit their only field goal attempt. They've been spreading the ball around. They've been taking high percentage shots. And they're off to a sensational start today in their first conference action in a couple of weeks. They are unbeaten overall, so naturally unbeaten in conference play. They beat Governors State by 11 and then dominated Viterbo here at home, a 30-point victory a couple of Wednesdays ago. It'll be mostly conference play for a while. Once we get into January, it'll be entirely conference play, but right now it is primarily CCAC opponents on the St. Francis schedule. Judson tries to move fast out of the timeout. Kimball kicks it outside to Centeno. Kiera Graves is in the game for Judson. This is Graves on the drive, poked away from behind, and Graves touched it last. So a turnover for Judson. That is their second of this first half. Still looking for their first field goal of the game. Riley Swinski is in for St. Francis. Takara Harrison's the one with the ball into the corner for Swinski. She picks up her dribble. Nearly has the ball taken away. Gives it back to Corinne Fromm, who misses the three-pointer. Offensive rebound, Swinski. First field goal attempt missed today for St. Francis. They get another chance, though. Harrison tries the three. She misses. Back-to-back missed three-pointers. Third chance, Singer, no. Fighting for a fourth chance. Swinski keeps the ball alive out to Takara Harrison. Third offensive rebound of the possession. And Lorelei Thormeyer misses a three-pointer. Swinski dives on the floor and she's fouled. The Saints will get a fifth chance this end of the floor. Well, it's not doing wonders for their field goal percentage, this possession. They had made their first 5 shots. Now they've missed 4 in a row, all on this same possession. But they get the ball back. They can remain perfect in terms of having the ball and scoring each time they've had it. Takara Harrison backs down Grady, working hard in the paint, and a whistle blows, a foul on the floor. That goes against Judson. Not an offensive rebound this time. I don't know if it's fair to call this the 6th chance of this possession, but the shot clock does reset to 20. Callie Kurzik is in for Judson. Leilani Harris back on the floor for the Saints as Singer takes a step to the rim and comes up short. So St. Francis goes 0 for 5 on that possession. Used up almost a full minute. Couldn't get any points, but they do have the double-digit lead still. This is Centeno after the Eagles nearly coughed it up. Centeno guarded tightly by Swinski. Swinski nearly took it away. At the free throw line, kicked outside Graves. Kiera Graves penetrates. Graves in traffic, comes up short. Rebound grab by Janae Singer. Harris ahead to Harrison. Nobody picked her up. Takara Harrison on the three-pointer, bounces it in. Off the rim, the backboard, and finally the net. Takara Harrison has 5 points. She's become a very strong three-point shooter this year. An element, maybe the only element really that was missing from her game last year. Eastman backs in on Singer, blocked by Singer. Eastman gets it back, blocked again, but this time it's a foul, and the shot rolls in. Second chance for Easton Kimball, and she goes to the line to try to make it a three-point play. Took them 6 minutes, but the Eagles have their first field goal, and now a chance to make it even bigger than that. Free throw for Kimball is good. Three-point play makes it 16-6, doubling Judson's point total for the game so far. Fromm walks it across half court, finds Leilani Harris. Bailey Johnson just into the game, sets the screen. Harris pulls up, kicks it outside to an open shooter. It's Harrison, a little bit too strong this time, and the rebound ricochets off the back of the rim and out of bounds. Judson ball as Lorelei Thormeyer comes back in. Corinne Fromm heads to the bench. 16-6. Big first quarter for St. Francis. Their offense has slowed down, but it was bound to. 13 points in the first 4 minutes. Alyssa Potter drives around Harris, kicks it to her right. That's Kurzik firing the mid-range jumper and knocking it down. All of a sudden the Eagles are starting to heat up. They've made their last 2 shots. 16-8 is our score. Leilani Harris works her way to the rim. No good on the shot. A little bit of contact, but no foul called. Here come the Eagles. Centeno bounces down low to Kimball. One dribble from Easton Kimball up over Bailey Johnson. Halfway down, but it didn't fall. Johnson comes away with the rebound. It's Thormeyer ahead for Leilani Harris. She steps into a 3 and hits. Second three-pointer of the game for Leilani Harris. She's got 6. The lead is back up to 11. Transition bucket for the Saints after the Bailey Johnson rebound and outlet pass. Johnson over pursued on the pass. Kimball takes a step in, and miscommunication from Judson leads to a turnover as Jada Centeno throws it out of bounds. She was looking for Potter. I think that was Potter she was looking for. And she moved outside. The pass went to the corner. It was an anticipation pass. Centeno didn't look to the corner. There was nobody standing there. Mia Kennelly is in for the Fighting Saints. Harrison has the ball knocked out of her hands, and she fights to get it right back. Harrison lost it, stole it. Now to the rim. She lays it in. A lot of stats there for Takara Harrison. A turnover, that's the negative one, but I think the 2 positives outweigh it. A steal and 2 points for Takara Harrison. Now Alyssa Potter is stuck. Tries to throw it off the foot of Simone Harrell, and we're gonna get a tie-up here. Possession arrow to St. Francis. That was an unlucky bounce for Alyssa Potter. She was completely trapped, so she tried to throw it off the leg of Simone Harrell, but it bounced right back up to her. Harrell reached in on it and forced the jump ball. 2:17 to play in the first quarter. It's been all St. Francis so far. They've got a big lead. They've got the ball back as well. Takara Harrison lobs it down low for Bailey Johnson. Beautiful entry pass from Harrison, and Bailey Johnson backs her up by scoring her first 2 points of the game. 15-point lead for the Fighting Saints. Centeno over to Maddie Carlson. Carlson guarded tightly by Kennelly. Gives it up to Kimball on the outside. Easton Kimball hands it to Potter, circling around down the lane. Potter throws it up off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Mia Kennelly. Saints on the move once again. Harrison to Simone Harrell. Harrell crosses over, turns her back to the basket, fires out to Lorelei Thormeyer. The senior point guard gives it back to Harrell. Harrell drives to the left hand, flips up a runner, no good. Pulled in by Judson. Lobbed ahead for Alyssa Potter. Potter going one-on-one with Thormeyer, and Lorelei Thormeyer comes up with a block. It's been a block party all quarter for St. Francis. That's not usually Lorelei Thormeyer's game. In fact, that's her first block of the entire season. Saints as a team average 2.5 blocks per game. They've got 5 of them in the first quarter today. A foul and the basket counts. Jada Centeno makes a big play for Judson. First foul on Mia Kennelly. It's the 4th on St. Francis. Free throws are helping to keep Judson alive in this game right now, as Centeno misses the attempt at the three-point play. Ball kept alive. Centeno couldn't keep it inbounds, though. She did ultimately win possession there away from Simone Harrell, but the ball just barely touched the baseline. So far in this first quarter, just 3 field goals for Judson. They've made 4 free throws. They have missed 2 of them as well. Takara Harrison is fouled 20 feet from the basket. Number 3 on Judson. First on Alyssa Potter. Somebody's got to inbound the ball for the Saints. It'll be Thormeyer, who backs up behind the line and throws it into Mia Kennelly. Up top, Simone Harrell. Around to the right side. She is able to get Thormeyer. Harrell on the wing. Under a minute to play in the quarter. Out to Kennelly from Bailey Johnson. Air ball on the three-point attempt from Kennelly. Her first field goal attempt of the game. Eagles take over. It's Centeno. Centeno's pass is jumped by Bailey Johnson, and Johnson is fouled near half court. Great anticipation there from the junior center, Johnson. We saw her a couple minutes ago try to pull that same move. She missed it. Got there just a hair late, and it led to an open lane for Judson. This time, she is able to get the pass. She's at the free throw line, but that is only the 4th foul on Judson. And now everybody has realized that. Saints are not in the bonus. So they can line up for a free throw all they want, but I don't think anybody's going to take one. 44 seconds to play in the quarter. Big lead for the Saints. They've had a big lead pretty much the whole way through. Thormeyer sets her feet and knocks down a 3. First points for Lorelei Thormeyer. 7 different Saints have found the scoreboard in this first period. It's a remarkable number for this early in the game. Potter drives and kicks. Callie Kurzek works the baseline, gets the shot off the backboard. Simone Harrell fell down looking for the charge. Didn't get the call. And the Eagles get the points. Shot clock is off for St. Francis. Harrell over to Thormeyer on the right side. Thormeyer is fouled. And that is the 5th foul on Judson. So Lorelei Thormeyer is going to go to the free throw lines. That's a bad foul. 4.6 seconds on the clock. There was time for the Saints to get a shot off still, but a little bit disjointed on that possession, and they were bailed out by the Kurzek foul as Thormeyer rattles in the first free throw. Lorelei Thormeyer hasn't produced offensively so far this year the way she did a season ago, but she's been lights out from the free throw line, hasn't missed one on the season. 4.6 seconds. Judson basketball. From half court, Carlson bangs it off the side of the backboard, and that'll do it for the first quarter. Pretty impressive stuff through 10 minutes for the Fighting Saints. They've got a 28-12 lead, and we'll take a quick timeout here at the end of the first period. I'll be right back in just a moment. Saints on top over the Eagles. (28-12), St. Francis leads Judson after 10 minutes of play. 7 different players have scored for the Fighting Saints. They're led by Takara Harrison, 7. Leilani Harris has 6, 5 points for Lorelei Thormeyer. As a team, the Fighting Saints are 10 of 19 from the field, 53%. Judson made just 4 field goals in the first quarter. They also made 4 free throws. But it took them 6 minutes before they scored their first field goal. They got a couple of free throws on their first possession, led 2-0, and then it was 28-10 St. Francis after that opening trip down the floor. Nearly turned over by Judson, thrown towards the sideline, saved by Liliana Mack, but right to the Saints. St. Francis on the run. Leilani Harris trapped underneath the basket. She throws it away. So each team turns it over on their opening possession of the second quarter. Here's Callie Kurzek. Kurzek pulls up, hands off to the senior Maddie Carlson. Carlson, wide open 3 from up top, way off. Rebound deflected into the hands of Corinne Fromm. Fromm, a sophomore guard, is on the move, kicked towards the corner, looking for Simone Harrell. Deflected out of bounds by Kurzek. Simone Harrell checks out. Saints go back to their bench with Shea Carver. Fromm called for the travel. St. Francis turned the ball over 3 times in the first quarter. They've turned it over twice in the first 49 seconds of the second quarter. Both possessions since the quarter change. Ball's been coughed up. Carlson inbounds against the Saints' full court pressure. Bridget Grady throws it across half court where it's picked off by Takara Harrison. Thormeyer gives it up to Fromm on the outside. Fromm one dribble down to the corner. Shea Carver. Carver works the baseline up and in. And she's fouled. Good touch from Shea Carver. Took the contact and just floated it right over the rim for her first 2 points. 8th scorer of the game for the Fighting Saints. Shea Carver, the freshman who averages 4 points per game. 85% free throw shooter. Just checked in moments ago. Already making a big impact. She's got 3 points. No problem with the press this time for Judson. Saints trap immediately across half court. Ball is knocked loose and it is stolen. Thormeyer and Carver in on that takeaway. Corinne Fromm underneath the hoop. Fromm off the backboard, no. Kiera Graves on the move for the Eagles. Graves is picked up near the three-point line by Takara Harrison. Dribbles right inside past Harrison but misses off the glass. Here comes Shea Carver. Carver wisely slows it down. Good defensive pressure. Here's an open look for Corinne Fromm from the outside. No good on the three. And Judson clears it. We'll see if the game slows its pace a little bit. Jada Centeno up to the three-point line. Passes left. Maddie Carlson. Carlson crosses over on Carver. Fires into the corner. Easton Kimball rather. Over to Jada Centeno. Centeno misses off the backboard. Offensive rebound. Second chance. Kimball comes up short. Third chance. Grady is blocked by Paytas. Ball is loose. Deflected out to Centeno. Another chance for Judson. Three ball misses. Another chance for Judson. It's Centeno to Grady. Grady misses. And finally, Paytas grabs the rebound and draws the foul. There was a sequence like that earlier in the game for St. Francis when they were getting offensive rebound after offensive rebound. Now Judson does it, and in both cases, the teams came up empty. I think 4 offensive rebounds. I can't count very well. I lost track at some point, but I think 4 offensive rebounds there for Judson. And they missed every putback attempt. Thormeyer and Harrison work it across the timeline. Harrison drives, scoops it up, and scores. 9 points to lead all scorers to Takara Harrison, senior from Romeoville in year number 3 with the Fighting Saints. It's Kimball out to Centeno. Centeno gets the screen to her left, bounces down low for Kimball, going one-on-one with Singer. Singer comes up with the block on a reverse layup attempt. Another block for Singer, another block for the Saints. It's been their calling card all game. Leilani Harris fires the three off the rim. Rebound Singer. Singer takes it in herself. A little bit too hard off the rim. Tried to go over Centeno and Kimball. Saints lead by 21, 6:45 to play in the first half. Easton Kimball walks it up to the top of the key. Hand off to Maddie Carlson. Carlson's pass is kicked by Takara Harrison. They'll reset the shot clock to 20. The ball stays with the Eagles. Bridget Grady is set to inbound for Judson. Jada Centeno gets a well-earned rest. Alyssa Potter back in as Singer rips the ball out of the hands of Easton Kimball. Simone Harrell in control for the Fighting Saints. Leilani Harris thought about the long three, drives instead into the corner. Sawinski, no good on the three, and out of bounds, last touched by Simone Harrell. Well, the Eagles' defense has been shored up a little after the Saints shot 56% in the first quarter. Just 2 for 7 so far in the second. Only 5 points since that quarter break, but the Eagles have not been able to turn around their offensive play. it's been a struggle getting open looks. Even when they have gotten them, they haven't gotten them to go. Grady into Kimball. Nice pass to the cutting Potter, but it's stripped by Simone Harrell and out of bounds, last touched by Alyssa Potter. Good defense. Quick hands from Simone Harrell. That was a beautiful pass from Easton Kimball, but it goes for naught. Timeout called with 6:02 to play in the first half. St. Francis 33, Judson 12. Fighting Saints trying to remain undefeated for the season. They look to go 4-0 in the CCAC. They haven't lost a game to Judson in 15 years, so it's been a while. 21 meetings between the two teams during that 15-year stretch. You have to go back to January of 2011, the last time the Eagles were able to get the best of the Fighting Saints. So today's game is going true to form as far as this rivalry has been played over the years. So the Saints have a lot on the line. Their undefeated record overall, their undefeated conference record, and their incredible run against Judson as well. These two teams will see each other again in late January. They'll meet up in Elgin, up north. Eagles are back on the floor. The Saints join them with 6 minutes, 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. St. Francis 33, Judson 12. Both sides struggling offensively right now, but the Eagles at another level in the Saints. Just 4 for 23 shooting field goals so far in today's game. Lobbed inside for Singer from Simone Harrell. Singer is working one-on-one with Kimball, and Easton Kimball came over the top. She's called for the foul. Third foul on Judson, number 1 on Easton Kimball. Janae Singer's first free throw is good. Singer has her first point of the game. And now she has her second point of the game. Judson's having some trouble getting the ball across half court. Carlson has it poked away by Simone Harrell, and luckily for Judson, scooped up in the front court by Kiera Graves. Now we've got a jump ball, and it's going St. Francis's way. Judson lost control of the ball. It, very fortunately for the Eagles, rolled into the front court. Graves was the only one near it to pick it up, so she did not turn it over, nor did she get the 10-second call. But as soon as she came back up with the ball, there was somebody there to reach in. I think it was Sawinski who got her hand on it first and got the jump ball call. So the Saints forced the turnover. Nice fake by Simone Harrell. Works her way down low and banks it in. Second bucket for Simone Harrell, and the Saints are refining their offensive groove. Eagles looking to score for the first time in over 5 minutes. It's Kiera Graves beyond the three-point line. Works her way inside, misses the 7-footer, and the rebound is grabbed by Janae Singer. Singer is hassled by Alyssa Potter, but Simone Harrell is there to pick up the loose ball. Fired ahead just in time to beat the 10-second clock to Leilani Harris. Harrell steps up to the three-point line and knocks down a three. Kind of a broken play after the pressure in the backcourt, and Harrell found herself completely unguarded on defense. Harrell working hard as well, and she knocks it out of bounds. Still Judson ball from half court. Bridget Grady set to inbound, 24 on the shot clock. Centeno across half court. Kimball turns to face the basket just inside the three-point line. Handoff to Centeno, elbow jumper way off. Loose ball. Bailey Johnson's able to fall on top of it. 2-on-2. Corinne Fromm ahead for Sawinski. Sawinski takes the contact and knocks it in. Good patience and body control from Riley Sawinski. Saints are up by 30 now. Mia Kennelly knocks that pass out of bounds. Judson is scoreless for over 6 minutes. Knocked away by Sawinski, but tracked down by Centeno. Still Judson ball, and they'll inbound it again as Sawinski a little bit late getting back in the play after going for the steal. Called for bumping Centeno from behind. Potter down to the corner, Kurzik. Kimball going one-on-one with Bailey Johnson. Kimball steps before the shot. She's fouled on the floor by Johnson. Good battle down there between a couple of experienced post players, Easton Kimball and Bailey Johnson. Shot clock at 20 for Judson. Bridget Grady surveys. Fires into Centeno, and Centeno is called for the walk. Didn't get clean control of that ball off the inbounds play. And the Fighting Saints force another turnover. Corinne Fromm gets it into Lorelei Thormeyer as the Saints look to add to their run. 14 straight points for St. Francis. Actually, it's 16 straight points going back to the end of the first quarter. Corinne Fromm out to Riley Sawinski. 3-ball, no. Rebound goes high in the air, and it's ripped away by Mia Kennelly, who scores and gets to the line. Aggressive rebound from Kennelly, and now she may turn that into 3 points. First points today for the senior guard, Mia Kennelly. Free throw misses. And the rebound to the Eagles. Looking to get off to Schneid here. It's Centeno. Hand off to Potter. Potter runs into traffic down the baseline, backs it out again. Bounce down low. Easton Kimball over Bailey Johnson, gets it to roll in, and finally the drought is over. Almost exactly 7 minutes had gone by for Judson. They're back on the board, 44-14. Corinne Fromm, double teamed. Fromm fights it up, scores, and draws the foul. Corinne Fromm, one of the better spot-up shooters for the Fighting Saints. Doesn't take the ball inside all that often. But a physical post move there from Fromm. And it pays off nicely for her as she goes to the line to try to make it a three-pointer. The old-fashioned way. She's good at those three-pointers. Doesn't usually do it in that fashion. Fromm's got 6. Maddie Carlson is able to get it across half court, where she's picked up by Shea Carver. Kimball. Mariah Paytas backs up on her. Gives Kimball lots of space. Hand off to Centeno. Centeno nearly lost it. Mia Kennelly with tight defense. Potter steps to her left, fires the 3 around the screen, off the back of the rim. Mariah Paytas snatches the rebound out of the air. Off to her left, Lorelei Thormeyer. Approaching the 2-minute mark in the first half. Total domination by the Fighting Saints in this game. Thormeyer to the cutting Mia Kennelly, reverse layup, no. Shea Carver chases down the rebound. Carver in trouble, gives it up to Thormeyer. Good ball movement to the top of the key. Corinne Fromm can't knock down the three-pointer. Here come the Eagles. It's Centeno moving quickly. Flipped out to her right. It's Easton Kimball. Her pass deflected by Kennelly, and Kennelly comes away with it. All alone in the front court for an easy deuce. Mia Kennelly knocked the ball away. Excellent hand-eye coordination as she kept her dribble alive without having full control of the ball. And when she was able to corral it, she had nobody in front of her. A wide open layup for Kennelly. The Saints continue to pour it on. They're shooting over 50% for the game after a slow start to this second quarter. They've made 6 of their last 8 shots. And the balance remains unbelievable for St. Francis. The 49 points have come from 11 different players. Everyone who's entered the game today for the Fighting Saints has scored at least once. 10 of the 11 have knocked down a shot from the field, and Janae Singer has scored a couple of points from the free throw line. How about the line for Singer in 6 minutes? 5 rebounds, 4 blocks in 6 minutes played. There are a lot of pretty impressive stat lines for the Fighting Saints so far tonight. And the most impressive one is the score. 49-14, a 35-point lead. A little under 2 minutes to play before halftime. Kiera Graves looking down low for Meyer. Meyer is fouled by Singer. Foul number 3 of this quarter committed by St. Francis. So it will not result in Judson free throws. Bridget Grady inbounds. Grady lobs it in looking for Kurzik, but she misses her. Saints bench was calling for a 5-second violation. They get a steal instead. Thormeyer to the corner. Carver, nice fake. Carver down the baseline. Outside Thormeyer, a three-pointer from the wing is good. Lorelei Thormeyer's got 8. The Saints are more than halfway to the century mark, and we're not yet to halftime. Graves looks left, lobs it down low, trying to find Meyer, but it's taken away by Singer, who adds a steal to that wild stat line I read a moment ago. Here's Corinne Fromm for 3. Everything's falling for the Fighting Saints. They've made 8 of their last 10 shots. Corinne Fromm matches Takara Harrison's 9 as the game's leading scorer. Graves runs right at Janae Singer and draws the foul. She'll go to the free throw line. Judson has scored just 2 points in this second quarter, but in the final minute, they'll get a chance to add a few more from the line. Kiera Graves has made 2 of her 5 free throws this year. And she's made 3 of 6 now after knocking down the first one today. First point for Graves, freshman from Texas. Got them both. That ends the St. Francis run. Saints still have a huge lead, though, with possession. Fromm over to Sawinski. Up top, Fromm looks to her left, finds Thormeyer over there for 3. Thormeyer hits again. Back-to-back threes, Lorelei Thormeyer. She becomes the first scorer in double figures today. And now the shot clock is off for Judson, as they'll try to slow down the Saints the only way they can, by holding onto the ball offensively. Graves has it poked away by Carver. Diving to the floor, keeps it alive. Takea Jones, just into the game for Judson, was there to pick up the loose ball and keep the possession going, as Bridget Grady is able to bank it in from the right block. 3 seconds to go in the quarter. Thormeyer back to Fromm at the buzzer. No. And that'll do it for the first half. But what a first half it was. The Fighting Saints lead by 40 points. 58-18 is the score after 20 minutes of basketball. We'll take a 15-minute break. Back with first half stats and second half action after that. It's a 40-point lead for the Fighting Saints, 58-18 halftime in Joliet. It's halftime in Joliet. Our score is 58-18. St. Francis has the lead on Judson. Really impressive first 20 minutes for the Fighting Saints. Obviously, the score tells the story, but it was dominant on both ends of the floor. 54% shooting. They held Judson to 21%, which is not a huge surprise. Third in the nation coming into play today in opponents' field goal percentage. So that's just a few ticks below their average, but they hold opponents typically under 30% shooting. Judson has not made a three-pointer yet today. They're 0 for 4. Fighting Saints are 10 for 21. Big advantage in the turnover department. 16 committed by Judson, 5 by St. Francis. But what's been even bigger is what they've done off those turnovers. Points off turnovers right now, 26-1 in favor of the home side. Individual leaders to this point in the game, Lorelei Thormeyer is on top of everybody with 11 points. Takara Harrison and Corinne Fromm each have 9. Simone Harrell has 8. All 11 players who have gotten in the game tonight for the Fighting Saints have scored at least once. Janae Singer, in just 7 minutes off the bench, leads the team with 5 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 2 steals. For Judson, the leader is Easton Kimball. She's played really well off the bench. 5 points, 5 rebounds in 13 minutes played. Bridget Grady has scored 4 points, including the first 2 of the game. Judson did score the first 2 points of the game. 2-0 was their only lead. It didn't last very long. 20 seconds later, St. Francis hit a three-pointer, and it's been all Saints ever since as we get underway in the second half. Judson basketball, and immediately a trap and a travel. Centeno is forced to move her feet, trying to pass away from that double team. And just 5 seconds into the second half, more of the same. Saints force a turnover. We'll see if they can add to their massive differential in points off turnovers as they take the ball here. Simone Harrell drives with the left hand. Harrell passes out to Corinne Fromm. 3 ball is good. Third three-pointer of the game for Corinne Fromm, who's now got a game-high 12 points. And the lead is up to 43. Centeno over to Potter. Alyssa Potter passes out of the zone, down to the corner for Grady. Bounce to Meyer. Jessica Meyer throws it out of bounds. She was looking for Centeno. Centeno listed at 5'3", and that one was a little bit too tall for her. Jessica Meyer, who threw the pass, is the tallest player on the floor today, 6'4". Fromm gives it to Mariah Pates, over to Harrell, who finds Harrison. Down low, Pates once again. Pates backs in on Meyer, fakes left, makes a move to her right, and misses off the rim. Just over a minute gone in the second half. St. Francis picked up right where they left off, ahead by 43 points. Here's Potter. Over to Maddie Carlson. She's been quiet today. Maddie Carlson drives too hard off the backboard. Offensive rebound, Meyer. Third chance is good. Meyer just kept working at it. She's got her first field goal of the game. 3 points now for the senior Jessica Meyer. Lorelei Thormeyer blows by a defender into the corner for Fromm. Fourth three-pointer of the game for Fromm. She's got 15. Centeno off to Grady. Grady trapped, throws it off to Carlson. Centeno finds the open shooter, Alyssa Potter, for 3. Off the rim. Judson still pointless from beyond the arc today. And as Jessica Meyer gets tied up with Takara Harrison, a foul is called on Harrison. Both women hit the deck. Sawinski, Kennelly, Johnson all back on the floor for the Fighting Saints. They join Fromm and Thormeyer. Bridget Grady is able to inbound it to Maddie Carlson. Carlson down low to Meyer. Meyer comes up short against Johnson. Second chance, no. And Mia Kennelly picks up the rebound. Hard fall from Meyer after a fight for that rebound. And so the whistle blows to stop play to make sure that Meyer's all right. She is. Slows down the Fighting Saints break, but they will get the ball on the inbounds play here. Meyer does not have to leave. She's doing fine. Lorelei Thormeyer works against Centeno, full court. Across the midcourt line, she walks it off towards the sideline, fires to the high post, and Bailey Johnson. Johnson gives it back to Thormeyer on the wing, down low to the cutting Johnson, who dribbles it off her foot. Loose ball is secured by Bridget Grady. So this time it's the Eagles who force the turnover. Can they capitalize? Meyer stands up tall, gives it up to Potter, and Alyssa Potter rims out on the three-pointer. Fight for the rebound. Won by Mia Kennelly, who's on the floor, and we've got a jump ball going the Saints' way. Easton Kimball makes her first appearance of the second half for Judson. On pace for a double-double at halftime, leading the team in both points and rebounds. Callie Kurzik is back in as well. Thormeyer gets the screen, gives to Shea Carver. Carver, one step, back to Thormeyer. Lorelei Thormeyer has been a hot shooter today. Not this time. Second chance Carver. It's blocked out of bounds. First block shot of the day for Judson. St. Francis has 7 of them. Bailey Johnson working against Easton Kimball, backing her down. Johnson to her right, gets the roll. Nice move by Bailey Johnson. She's got 4 points. Carlson, a little bit too fast for her own good, loses the ball. Sent ahead for Sawinski, who lays it in off the feed from Kennelly. Timeout called by the Judson Eagles. The lead for St. Francis is up to a game-high 48 points. And they continue to get it done in all fashions offensively. They've been shooting the ball extremely well from three-point range all day. They're 12 for 24 right now. It's easy math, 50%. I did it for you just in case. 50% from three-point range, but they've also made 13 shots from inside the arc. They're scoring off turnovers, a lot of fast break opportunities for the Fighting Saints today. They're doubling up Judson on points in the paint. So even though they have done so much of their work from the outside, a lot of points in the paint as well. I've mentioned 11 different players have scored for St. Francis. 2 of them now are in double figures. Corinne Fromm, who's got 15, and Lorelei Thormeyer, who has 11. Talked a little bit at the beginning of the broadcast about how Thormeyer's offensive game has been a little bit behind where it was a year ago. So it's been good to see her rediscover that shooting touch. The 11 points she's scored today are tied for the second most she's had in a game this year. Her season high came back in the season opener, 13 against Michigan Dearborn. Judson's able to get it across half court. Centeno is called with the jump ball. She caught a break there because if that play had gone on another half second or so, she was, I think, going to step over that half court line and got called for an over and back. Instead, she keeps the ball with the possession arrow. Carlson for 3, yes. Finally, Judson hits from the outside. They had missed their first 6 3-point attempts, but they get this one to go. Maddie Carlson has her first points of the game. Carlson came into today averaging 12. Shea Carver from the opposite corner misses the 3. Bailey Johnson grabs the offensive rebound. Johnson double teamed in the paint, and another held ball. This time the arrow faces St. Francis's direction. Carlson on the season is the leading scorer for Judson among players playing today. Kendra Brown, very impressive freshman, averaging close to 14 points per game, is not out there today, and obviously Judson has missed her presence. Lorelei Thormeyer hits another 3, and that is a new season high for her. 14 points in the ball game today. She's hit 4 3-pointers to match Corinne Fromm's number. Kiara Graves splits the double team, gives it off to her left. It's Grady. Grady's pass finds Kimball. Easton Kimball down the lane, scores from a few feet out. Again, Bailey Johnson tried to jump the pass. We've seen her do that successfully a few times tonight. We've also seen her miss on that a couple of times, and this time it leaves a huge opening for Easton Kimball. Lorelei Thormeyer over to Riley Sawinski, driving with the left. Sawinski is fouled by Kiara Graves. Second foul on Graves. It's the first foul called against Judson this half. 5:16 to play, third quarter. Takara Harrison will inbound. Looking for Sawinski, and Sawinski is fouled on the inbounds play. Hit by Kurzik. Jessica Meyer is back in for Kurzik, who just picked up her fourth foul. Harrison inbounds to Singer. Singer back to Harrison. Swung around to Sawinski on the right wing. Cross court, it's Harrison. Takara Harrison puts it on the floor, gives it up to Sawinski. Three ball, no. Long rebound to Mia Kennelly. Kennelly drives. Potter reaches in and takes the ball away. A good steal for Alyssa Potter. 46-point deficit for the Eagles, but they've started to find their best offensive rhythm of the game these last few minutes. We'll see if they keep that going. Bounce to Kimball. Kimball's able to pull it in despite the pressure from Carver. Out to Graves, and Graves stepped down the sideline. (71-25). St. Francis has the lead on Judson. 4:39 to play in the third quarter. The Saints continue to pour it on. They've shot 50% or better so far in every quarter of the game. Obviously, this one isn't quite over yet. But they're 5 for 10 from the field, 3 for 6 from three-point range. So far here in the third, they've outscored Judson 13-7. Their best stretch of the game was late in the first half. They actually got off to a really slow start in the second quarter after jumping out to a big early lead, and then they caught fire. They ended up scoring 30 points in the second, and they are well on their way to a 100-point pace today. You never know what will happen as the game goes on, especially if this one really gets out of hand, and you might argue it already is. But if it gets even further, John McGinty might empty his bench for that fourth quarter. Their season high in points scored is 104. They did that in a win at Kentucky Christian on November 1st. That number is in jeopardy as the season high right now, but there's a long way to go in this game. Corinne Fromm over to Takara Harrison. Back around to Shea Carver. Carver works her way in, top of the key. Fromm, open three, but it's short. And the rebound is scooped up by Bridget Grady. Graves at the free throw line, pull-up jumper, clangs off the rim. Here's Carver for St. Francis. To the cutting Singer, who lays it in. Nice feed, Kennelly. Singer finishes it off, and she's fouled. So now we'll see if she can really finish it off from the line. 4 points in the game for Singer. She has filled that stat sheet today. 5 rebounds, 4 blocks, 2 steals, and if she can make this free throw, it'd be 5 points as well. Knocked around and fell. Saints are a nearly perfect 7 of 8 from the free throw line today. They've been good in just about every facet. Grady to Kimball, right back to Bridget Grady. Jessica Meyer turns, fires down low to Easton Kimball. She's got a mismatch with Shea Carver. She rolls it around the rim. It does not go. And a jump ball called on the fight for that rebound. It'll stay with Judson. That hung on the rim for a long time. Did not stay. I guess you don't want it to stay on the rim. You'd eventually like it to fall inside the rim. It fell out for Kimball, but Judson gets another chance. From the corner, it's Grady. Gives it to Potter. She tries the three. It's an air ball. Grady saves it, but right to Takara Harrison. Harrison moving quickly. The Saints have the numbers advantage. Shea Carver wide open for three. No. Rebound Kimball. Judson works quickly. Easton Kimball races across the timeline, trying to catch the Saints defense off guard. But good transition possession for the Fighting Saints. Ball is knocked loose by Takara Harrison, and we get a kick called on Singer. It'll be Judson basketball with 3:06 to play in the third quarter. 49-point lead for the Fighting Saints. Both teams make substitutions prior to the inbounds play here. Maddie Carlson out of Pecatonica High School. Good basketball program in Illinois. Lobs it in to Alyssa Potter. Kimball fakes the handoff. Now she does give it to Alyssa Potter. Potter over to Kimball. Kimball backs in on Singer, blocked. Another block. It's Shea Carver taking it the other way. Over to Takara Harrison. Harrison dribbles inside, fires across court. Connects with Malaya Scott. Here's Singer firing into the corner for Carver. Carver dribbles right past Centeno and has a wide open layup. Good work with the ball for Shea Carver. She's got 5. The lead surpasses the 50 mark. Carlson backs it up. Fires down low. Kimball is fouled. Just number 2 on St. Francis. This will be an out-of-bounds play. Subs coming in for the Fighting Saints. Elena Poizan is on for the first time, so she and Scott have both added their name to the score sheet. Now we'll see if they can do what everybody else who's played in today's game has done, and that's score some points. 11 players have scored for St. Francis today. Carlson's pass is intercepted by Poizan. Lobbed ahead for Kennelly. Mia Kennelly backs into the paint, flips it up and in, gets the roll off the back iron. Mia Kennelly adds 2 more points to the lead. It's 53. In the corner, Takea Jones. Guarded by Malaya Scott, who takes it away, and it's a jump ball. St. Francis possession. So Scott doesn't get credit for the steal, but she does force the turnover. Kennelly is going to inbound it to the freshman Poizan out of Plainfield, Illinois, Marian Catholic High School. Mia Kennelly throws left, pass deflected out of bounds. 20 to shoot. Saints inbound with Corinne Fromm re-entering, replacing Mia Kennelly. Fromm tries to fire it into Paytas underneath the basket. A little bit too high, through the hands of Paytas. Saints turn it over, 1:22 to play in the third. Paytas tries to knock the ball loose from Meyer. It's out of bounds, and it's going the Saints' way. Meyer touched it last. They might reverse this call. Paytas knocked it away from Meyer. The initial call was that Meyer touched it last, but after conferring, the officials have reversed the call. So it will be Judson basketball, 21 to shoot. Into Carlson. Maddie Carlson works against Corinne Fromm. Drive stripped out of bounds. Again, it'll stay with Judson. Grady looking for Carlson, didn't have her. Bounces to Centeno. Centeno keeps the dribble alive around Sawinski. Works her way inside, off the glass, no. But she fights for her own rebound. High energy play by Jada Centeno. Maddie Carlson works her way down low and gets herself to the free throw line. Second foul on Paytas, a chance for Carlson to score from the free throw line. That was all set up by Jada Centeno, who had an impressive initial drive and then improbably kept the play alive with an offensive rebound. First free throw misses from Maddie Carlson. Second attempt is good. 78-26. 4 points for Carlson. Fromm and Poison work their way across half court. Fromm throws it away. It's intercepted by Centeno. Centeno picked up full court by Scott. Around a screen to the left. Drives straight down the lane. Kicks it outside Grady. Over to Carlson on the wing. Carlson back up top. Grady looking low for Meyer. Dribbles instead to her right. Bounces right back to Meyer, whose pass is picked off by Paytas. Shot clock is off for the Fighting Saints as it's lobbed ahead into the corner for Scott. Scott takes it inside, gets bumped, and gets herself some free throws. Two free throws coming up from Leah Scott. And the first one is good. She becomes the 12th Fighting Saint to score at least 1 point. 18.7 seconds left in the third quarter. She hits them both. The 22 points this quarter are by far the lowest in any quarter of the game for St. Francis, which shows you how impressive they've been offensively in this game. 7 seconds to play as Grady dribbles off to her left down the baseline. And I think we're going to get a foul on Malaya Scott. 3.2 to shoot, and that'll get Judson some free throws here. This time they lined up for an inbounds play. The Saints would be happy to just let them go. But Judson is going to inbound it. The scoreboard had it wrong. The scoreboard had it at 5 fouls. They've adjusted it. It is the 4th foul on St. Francis. So the officials had it right initially. Inbounds play to Alyssa Potter. 1 second on the clock, and Potter had no idea. So Judson loses track of the clock. They don't get a shot off before the buzzer, and we come to the end of the third quarter. 80-26 is our score. St. Francis running away with this one on their way to 9-0 to start the season. They're 10 minutes away from just that. As I step aside for a moment. Back in a bit. 80-26 our score after 3. One quarter to go in this game. St. Francis holds an 80-26 lead. And the Saints have 5 reserves on the floor right now, so the starters may be done for the day. Judson inbounds it to Jessica Meyer, and they set up their offense. Here's Bridget Grady passing off to her left. Down in the corner, it's Potter. Potter floats it over Bailey Johnson. No good. Meyer offensive rebound, and she's fouled. That's one area that Judson has thrived of late. They've created second chances for themselves in the game. 14 offensive rebounds for the Eagles. They would like to have turned those 14 offensive rebounds into a little bit more than the 9 second chance points that they have as Meyer misses the first free throw. But they have kept possessions going. Still out-rebounded overall by St. Francis, 32-28, which is natural when you consider the number of missed shots on this end of the floor. Saints are shooting 53%, the Eagles just 22. Meyer's got 4 points. Saints try to beat this press, and they do. Sawinski passes to Poizon. Back to Sawinski, driving from the left, layup, yep. Riley Sawinski has 4 points in the game, make that 6 points in the game for Sawinski. Saints add another 2. They're right at their season average now. They score 82 points per game for the year as Bailey Johnson knocks the pass loose. Sawinski is out ahead of Potter, lays it up and misses, but she's pushed from behind. Riley Sawinski will go to the free throw line. The freshman Sawinski is just a 56% foul shooter, but she makes her first here. Saints as a team are 10 of 11 from the line so far today. And Sawinski is 8 points. The lead is 57, a game high for the Fighting Saints. Centeno is bumped by Shea Carver. Foul called. Bridget Grady is the inbounder from the far sideline for Judson. And a foul called before the pass is sent in. We're going to get Sawinski again here. No, it's Malaya Scott, number 2 on Scott. Bounce down low for Grady. Shea Carver reaches in, and we've got another held ball. St. Francis possession. Saints force another turnover. That's 25 of them in the game. Sawinski finds Poizon. Walking to the right. She backs up, gives it to Scott. High post, Bailey Johnson turns, fires the jumper, and knocks it down. Bailey Johnson for 2. She's got 6 points in the game. Can't afford to leave her as open as they did. Grady on the cut, lays it up, no good. Nice find from Centeno. It was a great cut from Grady, but she tried to lay it in with the right hand, an awkward angle from the left side of the basket. Nothing's going right now for Judson. Sawinski spins into the paint, into the corner for Scott. She fakes, drives the baseline, pull up from the block, no good. Rebound Grady. Centeno gives it to Potter on her left. Alyssa Potter crosses over, drives to the left. She flips it up and in, and it'll count as she's fouled on her way to the hoop. Alyssa Potter has a chance at a three-point play. First foul on Elena Poizon, who heads to the bench, along with Riley Sawinski. Fromm and Kennelly are back in. And the free throw misses from Potter. That's the 5th missed free throw of the game for Judson. Here comes Shea Carver. Carver drives left side. She is fouled. Number 3 on Jada Centeno. Callie Kurzik has 4 for Judson. We haven't seen her since she picked up her 4th. Into Bailey Johnson, turnaround, nice touch right over Kurzik, who had just checked back in. I missed her. Just back on the floor with 4 fouls and didn't want to pick up number 5 as Bailey Johnson scores right over her outstretched arm. 8 now for Johnson. Fading away off the glass. Maddie Carlson can't finish it. Rebound knocked out of the hands of Fromm by Kurzik, and we've got another tie-up. The possession error is getting worn out today in this second half. It's gone back and forth so many times. Mia Canelli departs. Poizon is back in. 7:18 to play in the game. 88-29 is the score. And the officials have gotten together to have a little chat. I'm not sure what they're discussing here. Whatever it is, seems to have been figured out. I think we're getting a foul call. No, I'm sorry. They're just looking at the shot clock. 20 seconds on the shot clock is what they were trying to ascertain. And it doesn't matter because Judson used only one of those seconds before trying to get a shot off, and a foul is called on Elena Poizon. That's number 5 on St. Francis, so Bridget Grady goes to the free throw stripe. Grady scored the first 2 points of the game from the free throw line. This is her first trip since. Well, they've changed the call. The scoreboard had it wrong again. It's the second time it's happened this half. But the officials were on top of it. That was only the 4th team foul, not the 5th. So it's an out-of-bounds play, and Fromm knocks it right back out. They'll try it again. Carlson. Bounces low for Grady. Grady up with the right hand. No. Rebounded by Corinne Fromm. Fromm is able to dribble her way out of trouble. Fired ahead for Scott. Malaya Scott down the lane with the right hand off the backboard and in. .90 points now on the board for the Fighting Saints. Potter out to Grady. Kurzik sends it down low for Carlson. In a sea of white shirts, she puts it off the side of the backboard. Saints on the move. Carver all the way to the rim. Carver is blocked by Kurzik, saves it, but right to Jada Centeno. Lobbed ahead for Maddie Carlson. Carlson is all alone, and she lays it in. Maddie Carlson has turned things around here in the second half. Did not score in the first. She's got 6 points since halftime. Her team trails still, though, by 59 points. It was a 40-point game at the intermission. 58-18, the Saints led. Around a screen, Scott gets to the basket. A little bit too hard off the glass. Second chance, Bailey Johnson. And a timeout called by St. Francis with 6:05 to play in the fourth quarter. 92-31. St. Francis has the lead. Really impressive ball movement by the Fighting Saints today. They have spread the scoring out. 18 assists. They've got 92 points from 12 different players. The only one who's been on the floor today who hasn't scored is Elena Poizon, who has not attempted a shot yet. The leading scorer for the Fighting Saints is Corinne Fromm with 15. Lorelei Thormeyer set a season high with 14 points scored. Bailey Johnson has come off the bench and had a nice game for St. Francis. She's into double figures now with 10. Riley Sawinski has 8. Simone Harrell had 8. Takara Harrison, 9 points. Didn't score in the second half. They didn't need her to. Leilani Harris didn't even play in the second half. Saints' second leading scorer this year has played only 11 minutes in the game, and she's had some problems with injuries over her time at St. Francis. So John McGinty has done this a lot with Leilani Harris over the last couple of years. When it's been a blowout, he tends to get her out of the game sooner than the rest of the starters. So we haven't seen her in a while. And I'd say it's a pretty good bet we won't see her down the stretch here. 6:05 to play. Poizon, Scott, Fromm, Singer, and Sawinski are the 5 on the floor for St. Francis. Centeno, Graves, Kurzik, Grady, and Jones for Judson. Kurzik loses the ball off the dribble. The race for it is won by Kurzik, kept alive. Jones, though, is trapped near half court. And she flips it ahead to nobody. The ball deflected loose and finally brought in by Kurzik with the shot clock about to run out. Kurzik knocks down the jumper from 13 feet. One of the weirder plays of the game, one of the weirder plays you'll ever see that results in 2 for Judson. 92-33 is the score. Corinne Fromm drives to her right. Fromm picks it up, looks outside, finds Scott. Scott down low to Singer. There's an ace Singer off the mark, trying to score from underneath the rim. We're down to our final 5 minutes. Jada Centeno gives it over to Kurzik. Here's Grady off the handoff. Grady down to the baseline. Poison in step with her. Back to the top and Graves, and a foul is called on the shot against Riley Sawinski. So Kiera Graves is going to shoot 2 free throws. Graves is 2 for 2 from the line today. Those are her only 2 points. Judson has gotten themselves to the free throw line today. That's one of the 2 things I'd say could be taken away as a positive. They've done a good job of getting themselves to the line, but they've not converted them at the rate they'd like. They're just 57% on 14 shots. 1 out of 2 for Graves. And then the other thing is, I was talking about a little while ago, offensive rebounds. 15 of them in the game for Judson. So they've done a few things well. In a game like this, you want to find some little positive that you can take away from it. Sawinski over to Poison, the half-court circle. Poison working against Centeno. Passes to Scott on the left. It's Singer at the free throw line. Outside, Shea Carver. Carver works her way in with the left hand and scores with that left hand. 7 for Shea Carver. The lead is back up to 60. Carver nearly stripped it away from Graves. Good job by Graves to keep it alive. Finds Takea Jones in the corner. Air ball on the 3, and Carver knocks it out of bounds. It was not a good shot from Jones. Centeno was just waiting on the other end after that air ball. She played it a little cavalierly, and Carver took advantage of that by streaking in and knocking the ball loose. Still Judson possession, though. Centeno's pass deflected right back to her. Knocked out of her hands, out of bounds. She touched it last. St. Francis possession. They force another turnover. Again, the season high in scoring for the Saints this year is 104. Their season low in points allowed is 41. So both of those numbers could potentially be beaten today. Saints have one of the top 10 defenses in the country. That's not going to change after today as Elena Poison works her way down low and scores. That makes it everyone. 13 out of 13 players who have appeared in today's game for John McGinty have scored. And that is the entire roster. Taylor Shergan is the only one who has not played. She is not active today. Shea Carver is called for reaching in on Kurzik. Second on Carver. Kurzik goes to the line. Liliana Mack checks back in for Judson. She's played only about 3 minutes so far today. Kurzik's first free throw is good. 3:32 to play. 96-35 is the score. 7 points for Kelly Kurzik off the bench. She's got 8 now to lead the Eagles. Their top 2 point scorers today have both done their work in a reserve role. Poison races by the defender, now pulls up and gives it up to Riley Sawinski. Sawinski works her way inside. Graves strips it out of her hands and out of bounds. $18 to shoot for the Fighting Saints. They need an inbounder. It's going to be Poison. Carver at the free throw line, backs up, hands off to Sawinski. Swinski guarded toughly by Kurzik. Swung around to the right side. 3-ball Carver short. Rebound to Kurzik. Kurzik takes it all the way down herself, down to the corner. 3-pointer for Mack is good. Liliana Mack scores from the outside, and for Mack, that's the first field goal of the season. First 3 points of the year for Liliana Mack. In fact, that was just her 3rd field goal attempt of the season. Singer hands it off to Poison, out to Carver. Carver thought about the 3, takes it inside instead, bounces to Singer. Singer's hassled under the basket, but makes a nice move to free herself for the bucket. 7 for Singer. Kiera Graves gives it to Easton Kimball, and Kimball works her way down low and scores off the backboard. Nice move by Easton Kimball. She's got a team-high 9, stolen away by Kiera Graves. Graves dishes to Mack, and Mack scores again. First 5 points of the year for the sophomore have come in the last minute. And with 2 minutes remaining, St. Francis calls timeout. Fighting Saints have owned this one since the very beginning. Judson led 2-0, and then St. Francis immediately took over. The Eagles in the early going really could only score from the free throw line. They didn't make their first field goal until 6 minutes in. They've turned things around a little bit offensively, specifically here in the fourth quarter. They're 6 of 11 shooting in the fourth. That has brought their field goal percentage for the game up to 29%, which actually matches the season number for St. Francis. They hold opponents to 29% shooting this year. So surprisingly, Judson has actually outshot the average Saints opponent in today's game, but it has mostly come because of their fourth quarter work. And that, of course, has been all against the subs. John McGinty started to pull his starters late in the third quarter. Inbounds pass goes straight out of bounds. Sawinski was trying to get it to Poison, who tripped and fell, and so she was in no position to receive that pass. So Judson takes it away. Liliana Mack to inbound, and she throws it away as well. Deep into the backcourt. Easton Kimball is able to chase it down and begin the possession for Judson. Kimball's got it down low, working against Bailey Johnson, and fights it up and scores over Johnson. Strong move by Easton Kimball. Saints trying to get it in against a tough pressure defense. They do. Poison to Sawinski. Down the floor to Carver. Shea Carver picks it up, flips outside. Three-pointer for Malaya Scott is an air ball. Rebounded by Mack. Judson on a run here. It's too little, far too late, but still, they would like to finish strong. They have over the last couple of minutes. And now just over 1 minute to play. It's Alyssa Potter. Potter drives and is fouled by Shea Carver. Fromm is back in for Scott. Potter's at the free throw line. 2 points so far today for Alyssa Potter. Trying to double that total. She makes the first free throw. Saints went, or have gone, I should say, 11 of 12 from the free throw line today. Judson now 12 of 19. Saints will get one more chance here to hit the century mark. We've been sitting on 98 for the last couple of minutes. Bounced over to Corinne Fromm. Fromm gets into the paint, backs down on Graves. Corinne Fromm out to Poison, three-pointer, got it. And there's 101 for St. Francis, 54 seconds still to play. The lead is 55. They've been up in this game by as many as 62 points before this late flourish from Judson. Easton Kimball looks for help, calls on Liliana Mack, hands it off to Mack. Mack crosses over, backs up, fires another three, and hits again. Liliana Mack is making her case for future playing time. She's got 8 points in the last 3 minutes of this game. Called for a foul, reaching in on Poison, and that turns the shot clock off. So if the Saints can get it across half court, the game will come to a close. Corinne Fromm is bumped by Kiera Graves, a very late whistle, and Graves is called for the foul. Number 4 on Judson. So we'll see if they do it one more time to send the Saints to the free throw line and buy themselves one more offensive possession. Ball inbounded to Johnson. Corinne Fromm kicks it outside. Saints continue to work offensively. And now Poison slows it down. They're still defending, so she's got to make a move with the ball. Mack pokes it away. Poison gets it back, 7 to shoot, and that will do it. Mack finally backs off, and this ball game comes to a close. 101-49, our final score. St. Francis dominates Judson. They keep their long winning streak against the Eagles alive. It's their 22nd consecutive victory against them over the last 15 years. They are now 9-0 on the season, a perfect 4-0 in CCAC play. And we'll see how long this stretch can continue for the Fighting Saints, who will have a few non-conference games coming up as well, but they return to CCAC action this weekend at Calumet College of St. Joseph. They've got the exhibition in between at Western Illinois, but after that exhibition, 3 straight conference games before they return to non-conference play. So they'll have some tough challenges coming up, and they'll have some opportunities to prove themselves as the favorites in the CCAC, which they came into the season as. They haven't done anything so far to eliminate that standing. They win today by 52 points. Some of the individual stats in today's game: Corinne Fromm led the team with 15 points, also had a team-high 5 assists. Also scoring in double figures today, Lorelei Thormeyer had a season-high 14 points. She had 4 assists. 10 points for Bailey Johnson. Nearly had a double-double. She led the team with 8 rebounds. Takara Harrison scored 9. Simone Harrell 8. Riley Sawinski had 8 points as well. Really good all-around performance from the Fighting Saints. They used all 13 of their active players today, and all 13 of those players scored at least 2 points. They shot 54% from the field, 44% on three-pointers, and 92% from the free throw line. Judson finished the game at 32% overall, 27% from three-point range, 63% from the free throw line. They really got hot late. The Eagles ended up going 8 of 13 from the field and scoring 23 points in the fourth quarter after they were held to just 26 points through the first 3 quarters. So at least one positive to take away at the end of the game for Judson as they gear up for the rest of their season. They were led today by Easton Kimball, who had 11 points, also had a team-high 6 rebounds. With this win today, the Fighting Saints improved to 9-0 overall, 4-0 in conference, including the forfeiture against Trinity Christian. Judson falls to 3-5 for the season. Their conference record is dropped to 1-3. Again, the Fighting Saints are back in action this Thursday on the road. It's an exhibition game against a Division I opponent at Western Illinois. Their next conference game is Saturday on the road. They're at Calumet College of St. Joseph in Indiana, and then back home the following Wednesday. 1 week from tomorrow, they host Indiana University Northwest. That'll be their next home contest and consequently our next broadcasts of St. Francis basketball. That'll do it for today's broadcast. 101-49, our final score. St. Francis comes away with a blowout victory over Judson. Until next time, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off from the University of St. Francis. Have a wonderful Tuesday evening. We'll talk soon.